He's going to be 91, 93 with that fastball, good slider. He's going to mix in the changeup. The key for him is his success, whether he's going 1 or 2 innings, which is the plan today, is just to command the zone. He has had 16 walks in 20 1/3 innings this year. Outside of that, opponents are only batting .203 against Javen Coleman.
That's because he's only allowed 15 hits in those 20 1/3 innings. But that walk number is excessive. He has struck out better than a batter per inning at 23. Borum lifts this one into left center field. Josh Pearson is out there and makes the catch in the sunshine. This brings on Kyle Walker. 83 degrees right now. The wind's out of the north at 4 miles an hour. That's a little bit left to right, but not much of a factor. Javen Coleman working to Walker. Next is Ashton Inman. And this is clubbed down between Pearson and Bingham in the outfield. A long single to left center field puts Walker aboard.
Kyle Walker having a fantastic season right there. He's came in hitting .370.
Walker takes a pretty healthy lead from first base, and that pitch is tight to Ashton Inman.
Yeah, the Walker over there at first, somebody to watch. He has a number of stolen bases this year. He's got 14 stolen bases. 13 for 14 over there at first base, so he's a threat to go.
That's caught on a line by first baseman Jones. A lot of base runners.
The ERA for Grambling as a staff is 8.08 on the season. So offensively they're very good. They're hitting .313. They've got a lot of good players, some veteran hitters in their lineup. It's just the pitching has been super disappointing this year for Grambling, and that's way too much of an ERA.
Their team batting average, Ronnie, as you mentioned, is .313. That's 30 points higher than LSU. The 2-0 to Braswell. High and tight.
You can even tell Peguero, you can tell he's aiming the baseball, as a pitcher. He is kind of like begging for a strike when he releases it.
And he does not find the plate on his first 4 off. That's 5 in a row.
LSU understands that if they show bunt, it's, for a guy who struggled throwing strikes, that it's going to make it tough. So they're basically taking till they get a strike, it looks like.
The youngster at the plate right now is the leading LSU hitter. Freshman Ashton Larson is batting .364. And he's reached base safely in 16 consecutive games. Games have been played here. .3-0. Braswell walked on 4 pitches. Larson has seen 3 out of the strike zone. Tommy White is on deck. There's a strike. I'm going to be interested when White steps to the plate, Ronnie. Will he swing on the first pitch, as he likes to do?
That's going to be very tempted not to. Uh-oh. He slipped. Kind of stumbled there on his release point.
So will White, after seeing 8 of the first 9 pitches out of the strike zone, will he come up hacking on the first pitch?
I wish we had a button on your screen that you could vote on whether he's going to swing or not. That would be fun.
Great idea. Place your friendly bets quickly at home.
I'm going to say he doesn't have the take. I think they trust him. And if he throws it anywhere near the strike zone, he's swinging.
That was just too far out of the zone, high and away.
Yeah.
A walk to Braswell on 4 pitches, a walk to Larson on 5 pitches. Peguero already has thrown 4 more pitches in this inning without retiring anybody.
Look at that.
Than the LSU starter did, Coleman.
15 homers in 27 games. And of those 27 games, 21 of them have been SEC games, SEC conference games. So, I mean, he has done it against some of the toughest competition. That just shows you how great of a hitter he is.
Three and one. White was taking all the way. Jared Jones is on deck. Lots of sunshine still pouring its rays out across the stadium. And the 3-1. Blasted on a line deep to center field. Burrell is backing up. He's near the warning track and he makes the catch. Braswell tags from second base and advances. White thumbnailed it out to center field. But it was caught as Burrell was retreating quickly. That ball was hit about 380 feet and Burrell got to the liner in center.
That right there is exactly why, that ball right there is exactly why you should throw strikes. Because you threw it in there, he hit it as good as you can and hit it right at somebody. You know, nothing good comes from throwing balls. If you just throw it in there, even the best hitters in the country will get themselves out more times than not.
Here's Jared Jones. He's first pitch swinging and whacks it foul. Jones stands as deep in the box as is allowed and takes that one elevated. Jeremy Hayes is calling balls and strikes. Eddie Newsom is at first base. Jeff Beeman is the second base umpire. And Brian Roulette is the third base umpire. Here we go. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jared Jones. Josh Pearson is on deck. The outfield is about as deep as you can get without making contact with the fence. Runner at first is moving. LSU's trying to get the run home, and a bad throw from the shortstop pulled the catcher out of position. That didn't look so good for the Tigers at first, but a throw back from the shortstop was up the first base line.
Now, was not the best jump by Braswell at third. He's got to get a little further down the line, and he didn't have any kind of throw near the plate. Braswell's going to be out, but that throw was way off target, and the Tigers forced the action. First, third play made Grambling make a play with under pressure, and they didn't make the right throw.
That goes as a double steal. And LSU takes a 1-0 lead because of it. Larson is in scoring position as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Jones.
Ouch. A foul ball right off the mask of Marcellus.
It looks like we're about to return to play. Ronnie, you mentioned very accurately that Grambling has scored a lot of runs this year. They're averaging 8.6. That's a run and a half more than LSU. But they are giving up more than 8 a game with team ERA. And that's been a huge problem. They're also not a home run hitting team. They've hit 40 less than LSU. So after an 11-minute delay, because of the wicked foul ball off the face, the headgear of Jeremy Hayes, we are set to go. And Jeff Beeman has gone behind the plate.
All right, here we go. After what, about a 10-minute delay?
Yep, 11 officially. And the pitch to Jared Jones. Swung on and lifted very high in the air to shallow left field. The shortstop is calling for it. It finally comes out of the heavens, and it's caught by Vargas. So Jones pops up to Vargas for the second out. Larson is still at second base. LSU has scored without a base hit. Braswell walked, Larson walked. The Tigers got runners at first and third and then pulled off the double steal before White lined out and Jones pops up. This is Josh Pearson. That's a strike at the letters.
Well, it might be that the delay helped Grambling settle in a little bit. You know, get the butterflies out of the way.
Peguero misses wide. He walked the first two batters and did it quickly. And then he's retired 2 in a row. This is lobbed and it's a fair ball. It's going to hug the line and now roll through the bullpen area. Larson scores from second base and Josh Pearson slices his 5th double of the season, gets an RBI, and the Tigers lead at 2-0.
Take a look right here. Really nice piece of hitting. That ball's actually off the plate. I mean, that ball's, watch from the back angle. You can see it's a couple inches off that outside corner. Pearson does a great job of just hitting it where going with the pitch, down and away. Didn't try to pull it. Just a little butter knife double right off the end of the bat over the third baseman's head.
This brings on the DH, Travinski. He takes a strike. Travinski is hitting a point below 300. This is his 46th start. Travinski is one of 3 Tigers who has reached double figures in home runs. He's got 13. Jones leads with 19 and White has 17. Travinski is a runner-up in RBI for LSU this season so far with 40. Two outs, 2 in. A runner at second base. That's Pearson after the RBI double. And Travinski at the plate with a count of 0-2. Travinski checks his swing and commits. So he strikes out on a half swing. And Larson early set the table. A double steal produced a run, and Pearson knocked in a run with a double. And Cameron Buford out of South Holland, Illinois, comes to the plate. He's hitting .336 with 6 homers and 39 RBI. And this young man is one of the best hitters in the SWAC.
Well, he's one of the best all-time hitters in the history of Grambling, that's for sure. Cameron Buford, over 200 RBI in his career and over 40 homers, which is the most ever for a Grambling player. And he's out of Chicago, Illinois area. Back when he was 12 years old, he was a part of the Little League World Series team, the big one, the one in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He played in the Little League World Series on the big stage on ESPN and ABC. They won the title, and so got a great story there and has had a fantastic career. Came in tonight, started every game this year, hit .336 on the season with 6 homers.
He likes to extend that bat well over his head with that batting stance. And he'll wave it up there. Watch this batting stance.
He can run a little bit too. 12 for 13 with stolen bases this year, but that time the string got pulled. Little Javen Coleman changeup on the outside corner, and Buford slung over the top of it.
This brings on Julian Murphy, the DH. Murphy is a senior. Coleman working with a 2-0 lead. We play in the second. Ronnie, LSU has had a lot of Tiger opponents lately. A couple of series ago, they had Missouri. Last week, they had Auburn's Tigers, and now they've got the Grambling Tigers. 7 out of the last 9 games have been against Tigers. Murphy is from Jackson, Mississippi.
Long inning for Javen Coleman, who had to wait through the umpire change after the foul ball knocked out tonight's starting umpire behind the dish. Had to make the change there. That lasted 11 minutes. And then, of course, Tigers score a couple runs and have a lot of traffic on the bag. So it was a 20-minute inning probably, at least in between, for Javen Coleman. And he did actually go down the bullpen and kind of have to re-warm up again. And sometimes you can, when that happens, you're maybe not as locked in as you were prior to the long delay.
Samuel Dutton is warming up for LSU. We expect to have a bevy of pitchers. That's a nice off-speed pitch. Trevor Hatton out of Lancaster, Texas. Hitting .239. He's homered 3 times. He's driven in 24 runs this year. Let's see who's going to take it. Braswell behind White is calling for it. And there's the second out. Two outs, 1 on, 2-0 LSU leading. Grambling is batting in the second inning. Javen Coleman brings it. Runner is on the move from first base. And Vargas fouls it away on the hit and run. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, is Jose Vargas.
And by the way, no, not a relative of the Jose Vargas who played basketball. No relation. Played basketball at LSU back in the 80s. Who was one of my favorite players when I was in high school. Jose Vargas was at LSU. I loved him. Came to the LSU baseball camp after my freshman year in high school. My freshman and sophomore year, I came to LSU baseball camp. And one of those years, I was walking back to the dorm to go eat dinner or something, and I saw Jose come driving by in a pink Buick Regal. Boy, that was a fine vehicle with the wheel well with the spokes on the end of the trunk. It was awesome.
That's hit sharply. Braswell's got it on a hop, runs halfway to first base before he delivers it.
Either take a strike or you got to make it be on a tee before you swing at the first pitch.
Brady Neal at the plate. It's been a while since he started behind the dish. Neal has been recovering from a sore shoulder. And he strokes this one into left center field. That's down. It's rolling, and cut off on the warning track. And Brady Neal easily pulls up to second base with his 10th double of the season.
This is not a bad pitch. I mean, it's a little outer third, down and away, but Neal, excellent approach. You see him lean out over the plate and drive that ball with authority. You know, wearing that number 16, swinging the bat from the left side, reminds me of another guy, Ryan Schimpf. Got a little Ryan Schimpf look to him from the left side.
Kind of the same stature, too, huh?
Uh-huh. Ryan Schimpf we saw him last week. He, along with Buzzy Heidel, Mikey Matuk, Jay Johnson, Cade Beloso, and myself were a part of the LSU baseball alumni luncheon that they had over at Lod Cook. And it was good to see Ryan. He'll be playing this Monday in the Baton Rouge Rougarou Celebrity Golf Classic at Greystone this coming Monday.
I thought you were supposed to invite me to that luncheon.
I thought you didn't eat lunch. You always save the calories for nighttime.
Well, that's true, but surely I could have contributed to that lineup. At least
Well,
announce the starting lineup.
We only had an hour, and that was a lot of people. We didn't have enough. There wasn't enough microphones for everybody.
There's a quick strike from the new pitcher, Jeremiah Newman. Neal will take third. The shortstop, Vargas, gobbles it up and gets it over to first base for the out. But Bingham gets his teammate to third base with one out, and this brings on Stephen Milam. Milam had a 3-run home run against Auburn, but it wasn't enough on Sunday. Hitting .292. He belted that home run, Ronnie, well over 400 feet.
He has, but the power stroke has started to take effect for Milam. You know, those 3 homers have all come recently.
Yeah, they have.
And, you know, an old saying that Coach Bertman had back in the day, I feel like Milam graduated this past weekend when he hit that 3-run bomb the other way, and LSU really needed it. It was a big moment in the game, and he that was something that Coach Bertman used to do back in the latter part of his career. He'd play that pomp and circumstance as that ball gets away, and the Tigers get a cheap one. They'll take it.
Brady Neal comes sprinting home from third base.
There's those young guys, Neal and Milam, both will not only a big part of what's going on this year, but will be an even bigger part of next season.
That's a wild pitch to allow LSU to take a 3-0 lead. And Milam has a hitter's count now at 3-0. Let's see how selective he is. That's there for a strike. Dutton continues to warm up for LSU.
That wild pitch was the 75th wild pitch of the season.
Oh my.
For Grambling.
And a 5-pitch base on balls puts Milam aboard. That's only the 3rd walk for Grambling. I say that based on the huge number of bases on balls they've allowed. So we go back to the top of the order from Michael Braswell.
I'll call Michael Braswell the silent assassin because, you know, his numbers have just sort of snuck up on you.
Yeah.
2nd in the SEC in doubles with 8. And over 350 batting average in conference play. And you see he's batting 315 on the season. This is a guy who batted 255 last year. And well, that got him on the right shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. He hit 255 last season at South Carolina with 38 starts, 55 games played, and he has just taken it to the next level offensively. And
here, via transfer, Larson is a first-year Tiger via a true freshman status, and he has certainly been a factor offensively for LSU this last 3 or 4 weeks. Batting .364 with 13 driven in. This is his 20th start. That one drops over the shortstop's head, and the bases are loaded. Ashton Larson with a knock. Milam now at third. Braswell at second. And Larson golfs that one up. That ball was nearly on the ground.
I mean, you just play a little pepper with it. That ball, again, was a pitcher's pitch. I mean, as a hurler, you know, Newman's over there thinking, hey, I made a pretty good pitch. I mean, that's when you just got to tip your cap to the hitter. And Larson is just, that 364 average will go up. If he had enough qualifying at bats, he'd be leading the team and with his batting average. He's going to get close to qualifying here pretty soon.
That base hit moves his batting average, and we're talking about Larson, to .372.
Not a bad freshman year.
No, not at all. Let's see what White can do with the bases loaded. 2-0. And now it gets really spicy for Newman. There's a left-hander throwing in the Grambling bullpen. And Dutton continues to warm up casually for LSU. The pitch tight to White. Tommy White waiting for the 3-0 with the bases loaded. And he's late on a swing.
I mean, that hack by Tommy White. I mean, he tried to hit it 700 feet. Watch this swing. I mean, he came out of his shoes.
He sends this one deep to right field. It's carrying. It's off the wall and rebounds back towards center field. One Tiger scores. Two Tigers score. Here comes another one. The throw is not in time. Tommy White drives one off the right field wall and produces 3 more runs batted in.
Well, he didn't catch up with the first swing, but he did on the second one. This ball almost went through the fence in right field. I mean, just fastball down the middle. Tommy White stays inside of it, hits a missile, gets under it at all. It'd have been over the bleachers. Instead, he almost put a hole in the sign and then off to the right. Look at that Marucci bat sitting there. The on-deck guy's got to come move that out the way because, I mean, that could have been an injury for the Tigers. The on-deck batter, by the way, should always, as soon as that ball's hit and you've got runners scoring, go get that bat out of the way, move it so that your teammates can have a clean pathway to slide.
Jared Jones at the plate. Ball 1. Jones popped up to the shortstop last time. Tommy White has the team lead with 46 driven in. He led the nation a year ago in runs batted in. That ball is yanked foul. The 1-1 to LSU's leading home run hitter. Newman to the plate. And it's fouled out of play. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away.
Yeah, Grambling's got themselves a little bit in a pickle. You know, they just like LSU, they've got conference play on the weekends, and they don't want to use up, you know, a lot of their front line pitching. But at the same time, they've got to find a pathway through this baseball game. Well, that one just missed.
Now runners at second and first after the base on balls to Jared Jones.
Good patience by Jones here at the plate. Catcher on the outside corner, you see him reach across his glove. I mean, it didn't miss by a bunch, but it was off. That's kind of one of those calls where maybe if you're around the plate throwing a lot of strikes, maybe you get the benefit of the doubt. But when you're walking folks and missing by a bunch, you're not going to get that call.
So Josh Pearson comes to the plate. He's already had an RBI double. Texas A&M will be here this weekend, 7 o'clock on Friday, 6:30 on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
91-mile-an-hour heater on that one. Reach back for some.
LSU will have one remaining home SEC series. After Texas A&M, they'll be on the road at Alabama and then close out the home schedule in the SEC against Ole Miss on Thursday, the 16th of May, also the 17th and the 18th. The 0-2 pitch to Josh Pearson. Popped up on the infield. And Vargas makes the catch. So here's Travinski. He's the 9th Tiger to come to the plate in this inning. LSU has scored 4 in this frame. Neal and Milam and Braswell and Larson have crossed the plate. White is at second base. Jones is behind him, 2 outs. Travinski struck out in the first. He's first pitch swinging. He hits it very deep, very high, back to the center field wall. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Travinski, who looked confused at the plate in the first inning, was not confused with that swing.
I mean, you talk about an adjustment by Hayden Travinski. A 410-foot adjustment. The first at bat strikes out, I think, on 3 pitches and looked bad doing it. And then right here, 93-mile-an-hour heater and just gets into it. It's one of those typical Hayden Travinski high towering homers. Didn't go over the fence by a bunch, but went to the deepest part of the ballpark.
405 feet plus. Travinski adds 3 to the total. LSU leads 9-0. That's his 14th home run of the year.
It's amazing how hitting is contagious, right? I mean, at the halfway through this season, it didn't look like LSU was going to get to 3 guys hitting 14 or more homers in their lineup, and obviously plenty of baseball left. But Tommy White got off to a slow start with the homer stroke. Jones had been hitting homers all year, but all of a sudden now, once one started getting hot, the others have all gotten hot, and LSU's going to end up with 3 guys with 15 or more jacks this year. That's for sure. The question is, can they all get to 20?
LSU has added 1 to its team home run total, which now stands at 79. Brady Neal swings through a pitch, and the inning is over. But 22, and his control has been terrific.
Well,
just 2 walks.
He's got some of the best command of any of the LSU pitchers. I mean, obviously the 2 walks tells you the story, but he can throw that fastball, outside corner, right on the edge, inside corner. You throw a breaking ball down the way, he's going to hit his spot. It just has really good command, and the velocity just keeps increasing. We've seen some 95s from him this year. So this guy has a bright future. I'm curious to see what that future is. It may be more as a starter or long reliever. I think he's
perhaps
got that
so.
in him.
Yeah, perhaps so. So Javen Coleman in 2 innings as a starter allowed 1 hit. He walked 1. He struck out 1. Chris Marcellus, who hits 8th, and is the Grambling catcher, is the first batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trey Burrell and then Tiger Borum will follow. Nine nothing Tigers. 2 in the second, 2 in the first, and 7 in the second. The 2-2 pitch misses. And that's fouled at the plate. Ronnie, interestingly enough, Javen Coleman, who's been lifted from this game, is down in the bullpen throwing right now. He only threw 20 pitches in the first couple of innings, so he's getting in some additional work. Marcellus swings through the pitch, and Dutton strikes out the first batter he faces.
Yeah, not surprising, you know. I mean, you want to make sure you stay on your routine as a pitcher. You've got so many throws. You want to get in the bullpen, get in the game, get your routine, get ready for the weekend. And Coleman had a couple stop starts, you know, with the long delay in the bottom of the first before he went back out there, and so he's getting it in. It's interesting in other cultures like the Japanese and Taiwan players and all that. When I've watched them over the years, their pitchers, which they don't really have a pitch count. I mean, those guys will throw 200 pitches in a game. But for years, you would watch them throw 125, 150 pitches in an outing, get pulled, and go down to the bullpen and throw another 50, 100 more pitches. Like, that's just how they train and how they do it. It's definitely not the case in the United States of how it's taught, you know, with youth sports today or Major League Baseball. But that's how some of the Asian cultures and some of the way they play, they run. Their pitchers will run 10 miles a day, and they'll throw 200 pitches in a bullpen sometimes.
Here's Terry Burrell, and he's late and fouls it off.
Like just nice and easy. 85, 86 with the breaking ball. I mean, that is nice velocity. And then going to be 92, 94 consistently with the fastball when he's just in there for an inning or so.
A soft liner finds the grass to Braswell's left, and that's hit number 2 for Grambling. And this one comes off the bat of Burrell.
Now that time he took something off. He went 86 slider, but then this time tried to throw the old curveball. He hung it. That was a 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Tried to get him with the off speed, but just kind of hung it right over the middle of the plate. Sped up the bat for him. Big hit for the number 9 hitter in their lineup, Trey Burrell.
1 on, 1 out for Borum, who flied to left field last time.
Tiger Borum came into tonight batting .349 on the season. They call him the Energizer Bunny. Brings a lot of energy to the table. Does the senior left fielder. And that energy translates to the base paths. He's 14 out of 15 in stolen bases this year.
He's been an excellent leadoff hitter for Grambling. Larson is waiting for it. And the right fielder makes the catch for the second out.
There's Kyle Walker at the plate. Kyle Walker, who started off his career at Rummel High School down there in Metairie. One of the better high school baseball programs over the last probably 40 years.
And he lobs one to right field for his second base hit.
And then 2 for 2 is Kyle Walker, who has had us since in the Summer Collegiate League before he injured himself and had to miss the rest of the season. But he is healthy and playing really, really well this year.
Ashton Inman lined into a double play last time as he pulled it into the glove of Jones, who stepped on the bag behind the runner. And this gets by Neal. The runners will advance.
That'll be a pass ball, won't it?
I'm going to wait for the replay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Now Neal was looking for something outside edge, and of course Dutton missed way off the inside corner, but that's still a ball that could have been caught.
Inman waits. Starts with that closed stance, wraps it down to Milam, who was very deep on the outfield grass from his second base position. Total, Grambling's control from two pitchers so far has been pretty good, considering. So Esteban Tavares working to Mac Bingham. The lefty misses high and away.
Well, if LSU is going to sort of make that push right down the stretch to punch their ticket to a regional, and then if they can get in there, do some damage, this would be a guy that could really help that cause. I mean, right now they've kind of got, you're looking at Kling and Bingham and trying to say, well, which one of you guys is going to get, catch fire? And that's a good step forward for Bingham. They're looking for somebody the last, that last regular season, that last month, to forget about the slow start and catch fire. And Bingham is a guy with all that experience, all those years at Arizona. Last season, over 90 hits, over 360 batting average. It hasn't gone his way, but he's more than capable of flipping that switch.
Well, he's had a lot of hits in his career, a lot of at-bats, and also a lot of experience in postseason. Here's Milam, a first-year Tiger. It's kind of interesting about Milam because he did not have a good fall practice. And then when January and February rolled around, he ignited and has been an everyday infielder for the Tigers. Ground ball to the shortstop. There's an out at second and a sling over to first. A 6-4-3 double play, sweetly rolled with Vargas, Walker, and Inman turning it over. Here's Braswell, who has walked and been hit by a pitch. Interestingly enough, Milam has grounded into 8 double plays. You wouldn't think that, would you? That's tied for most in the SEC.
Yeah, that is surprising. He's a switch hitter at this point in his career, but I definitely feel like the strength is on that left side, and you wonder at what point do you just say, hey, go with it, go with lefty only. A lot of guys have at some point in their career maybe make that decision. Maybe a little too soon for Milam to kind of give up swinging it from the right side, but I feel like his strength is clearly from the left.
Braswell has scored twice tonight. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. He's got the longest hitting streak right now for the Tigers with 11. And next is Jones with 8. We are delighted you have chosen to spend some time with us wherever you may be watching all across the globe. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. LSU leading 9-0 after a couple of at-bats. 2 in the first and 7 in the second for LSU, including a 3-run home run by Hayden Travinski. It was his 14th of the year. Larson is on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up, foul territory, right side. Inman makes the. So Napolt replaces Milam. And Kucherak replaces Braswell. One ball, one strike on Cameron Buford, who struck out against Coleman in the second inning. Hurd burns one over the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, pulled the string a little bit. A little slower breaking ball that time by Hurd, 78 miles an hour.
As you might expect, Hurd won't be the last pitcher for LSU. Aiden Moffitt is warming up, the right-hander for the Tigers. The 1-2 pitch to Buford. A very weak swing. Hurd overpowered him and fooled him.
Yeah, fooled him. And went with it was a slider up in the zone. Right here. He's not expecting it. Then he realizes, oh, it drops in the zone. I got to foul it off. I got to stay alive. And nope.
This brings on Julian Murphy, the DH. He walked last time. That bender stays upstairs. And that one spins in for a strike. Nobody on base, one out. LSU leading 9-0 in the fourth. As we approach the gloaming in Baton Rouge.
Julian Murphy at the plate, a grad transfer. That one just misses outside a little bit. Murphy, who went to Mississippi Delta Community College. 6'2", 205-pounder out of Jackson, Mississippi.
This is chopped up the middle, and it bounds into center field for a base hit. Murphy has been on twice. That's his first hit, the fourth hit for Grambling.
That breaking ball way up in the zone, and Murphy took advantage of the mistake. Just a little make contact, put it in play, and bounded it through the middle. Good piece of two-strike hitting.
Walker has 2 singles. Burrell has 1, and Murphy has just collected 1. All 4 hits have been 1-base blows by Grambling. Here's Hatton. He popped up to Braswell last time. Strike 1. LSU 28-17 overall and 7-14 in SEC play. There's a big sweeper and a swing and a miss.
One of the better breaking balls in the right there that Hurd's thrown. Big bender right on the outside edge.
He steers this one wide. Hurd has always had mid-90s velocity. He's had some huge moments for LSU, and he's trying to find the groove this year. That is a beautiful breaking pitch. A call's third strike.
You saw Hatton get buckled right there. You saw the knees buckle. Watch the reaction from the hitter Whoop. That's the backside. He kind of leaned back and then all of a sudden realized, nope, didn't pick up the spin.
And you know it as soon as it darts over the plate. Both outs in the inning have come on strikeouts. This brings on Jose Vargas. He grounded out to shortstop last time. The Tigers have two new middle infielders, Kucherak at short and Nepolt at second. The outfield remains the same, Pearson, Bingham, and Larson from left to right. The corners remain the same, White at third, Jones at first base, and Neal is still in the game as catcher. The pitch to Vargas. Lifted and hit pretty well to the left side. Pearson on the move and makes the catch near the foul line in the left field corner. Brown is batting for Larson. So one youngster for another. Larson walked and scored. He singled and scored. He's been on base for 17 consecutive games now. Has Ashton Larson. Tommy White and Jarrett Jones will follow. Brown is played as a pull hitter. He comes to LSU with a lot of accolades from his high school career at Sulphur. And he draws a base on balls.
Good at bat for the youngster who, in my opinion, this summer should probably don't hang up the pitching thing forever, right? Like, I know Brown on his own about a week ago threw a bullpen down there and it felt really good. The ball was coming out of his hand really good. I know that he's willing to pitch if need be for LSU this year. Coach Johnson said, no, that's we want you to focus on the outfield right now. But he was an outstanding pitcher in high school, and I don't think that phase of his life is over. I think you might see him at some point again on the bump. Lefty pitchers are too valuable.
Tommy White waits. He has lined to center field and doubled in 3 runs off the right field wall. Tavares to White. With Brown at first base and a moderate lead. Nine runs, 6 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 4 hits for Grambling. There's the lead by Brown. It's doubtful he'll be moving with a 9-0 lead and White at the plate. There's ball 4. Tavares yielded a single in his first inning of relief and then got a 6-4-3 double play before a pop out and foul ground. But he has walked the first 2 batters here in the 4th. The outfield is very, very deep for Jarrett Jones. The pitch. Strike 1.
Slider down there at the knees. Good pitch to start off a power hitter who's looking for that fastball away.
He got that one in close to the hands, did Tavares. So he's delivered 2 pretty good pitches to Jones.
Breaking ball down, fastball in. Even though it was only 83 miles an hour, it tied him up because, you know, they're sitting back expecting the off speed.
One and 2 to Jared Jones. That just barely missed tight. Tavares shrugged his shoulders as if to say that should have been a strike. Jones lets a very close pitch go by and got the benefit of the doubt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, 2 on. The 10-run rule is in effect in this game. And the pitch lined into left field. That's down for a base hit. Brown rounds third. He will score easily. And the other 2 runners, batter runner White and batter Jones, take 2 bases. We'll see how they score that. There was a little bit of a fumble in left field. It's going to be ruled as a double and a run batted in.
I mean, this ball is clobbered. I mean, he just went and yanked it. That ball was on the outside corner, just yanked it down the left field line. I think that's the right call, definitely. Double there.
So Jones with an RBI double. That's his 11th double of the season, which matches Braswell for the team high. And here is Zeb Ruddle from Monroe and Neville High School. Strike 1. Paxton Kling at second base, pinch running for Jones. Tommy White at third. Nobody out. LSU has a 10-0 lead. We play in the bottom of the 4th. The Tigers got 2 in the first, 7 in the second. Some of that coming on a 3-run home run by Travinski. And 1 here in the 4th on an RBI double by Jones. And for Jones, that double moves his hitting streak to 9 games. Which right now is second highest, the longest on the team now. Right now, active, yeah.
Yeah, because Braswell got yanked after the 3rd inning, just with the big lead, get some youngsters some opportunities to play, so his hit streak will come to an end at 11. Zeb Ruddle from the Monroe area. We got folks watching tonight all over not only the state, but the country. Gene Ponte up in Monroe tuning in. Got Eddie Martini, former Rummel Raider state champion, watching over in Houston. Buzzy Heidel and Back Bruley watching tonight on the ESPN network.
Keep going. I like it.
Oh, that got him.
Ruddle is 1 for 8 with a double. And that breaking pitch did not bend at all. And it's the second batter that's been plunked from Grambling pitching.
Breaking ball got away from him, and you know, you show up to the ballpark, you've only got 10 at bats or so on the season, and then you take a little breaking ball off the ribs. That's not fun.
No, it's not. The bases are loaded. White, Kling, and Ruddle on base, and Ethan Fry is going to bat here. Grambling's bullpen gets busy. Esteban Tavares working to Fry. He's batting for Travinski. Ball 1. Travinski struck out and had a 3-run home run, his 14th of the year. But now it's Ethan Fry hitting .213. That's a strike. LSU, pardon me, Ronnie, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ethan Fry, this season completely turned on its head on March the 9th. On March the 9th, he goes 2 for 2, diving back to the bag on a pickoff. He dislocates his shoulder. Shoulder pops out, pops back in. At that point in time, Lynn, he was batting .375. And it was back on March the 9th. And then ever since then, the average is slowly going down to now .213. And he's not really in the mix. He's had a handful of at-bats. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. He's had 11 at-bats in the month of April. And, you know, really that he missed some time when that shoulder popped out, and he just hasn't quite found that groove since returning.
He lifts this one to center field. It should be good enough for a sacrifice fly. The throw comes back to the cutoff man. And so Fry hits a sacrifice fly, scoring White from third base. And LSU adds to its lead. The other two base runners hold on. So Fry with the pinch hit sac fly to center. That's his 9th RBI on the season. 1 out. Kling at second base. Ruddle is behind him at first. And here's Brady Neal. Neal has doubled and scored and struck out. And that came in the same inning. 11-0 LSU. The Tigers will have only one remaining non-conference game, one left at midweek. And that Neal is a guy who practiced at a lot of positions before the game, before the season. Catcher, first base, second base, outfield. I think he brings more different types of gloves to the park than anybody else.
Definitely a versatile player. The bottom line is you hit enough, Lynn, they'll find a place to play you.
Another base on balls. And the bases go loaded again. Kling moves to third. Ruddle to second. Neal to first. And that's going to be it for Esteban Tavares. He chops this one over the third baseman's head. Another Tiger will score. And a second one as well. It's a 2-run single for Mac Bingham as he chops one through the infield on the left side. Kling and Ruddle score.
Now, Coach Burtman used to say, if you hit the ball on the ground, good things happen. That time he hit it like on the magic pad right in front of the home plate. That ball bounced one time. The next time it was touching grass in left field.
The last 4 runs have been charged to the reliever Tavares. And now it's Ryan Kucherak batting for the first time. The youngster from Chandler, Arizona. 2 strikes on Kucherak.
Now, coaches and a lot of his teammates are really high on this young man, Ryan Kucherak, has a bright future. This year sitting behind Braswell, but they really think his skills are excellent at the shortstop position.
He stays alive as he fouls that one away. He was the number 2 ranked shortstop in Arizona by perfect game for the class of 2023. His career batting average in high school was .325. Ryan Anthony Kucherak. A liner into left field. That's down for a base hit and an RBI. Kucherak keeps it going for the Tigers. He's had 10 at-bats as Kucherak, and that's his third base hit.
Little breaking ball that hangs over the middle of the plate. Hang it, bang it. Kucherak took advantage of the elevated off speed.
Here's Ben Napolt batting for the first time.
Ouch.
That loads the bases as Napolt is bruised. Now it's Jake Brown. LSU with 5 in this inning, 2 in the first, 7 in the second, none in the third, 5 in this frame, 14-0 in the fourth. And now 15-0.
See what happens here. Oh, that ball's way outside.
A very wild pitch. Let's check some other SEC scores. Florida defeated Florida Atlantic 10-8. Lipscomb has defeated Tennessee tonight 9-6. Georgia 9-1 over Kennesaw State. They play in the 9th inning. Missouri is out in front of Lindenwood 10-1 in the 6th. Texas A&M, which is LSU's next opponent, has a 9-4 lead in the 6th inning over Tarleton. Here's a surprise. Tennessee Tech 6, Vanderbilt 1. That's in the 7th. And Arkansas is out in front of Missouri State with a lot of runs early. It's 10-4 in the 4th inning. And you're up to date in the SEC. How far will this carry? It's down on the warning track. The center fielder picks it up. And every Tiger except the hitter scores. Brown winds up at second base. And LSU now continues on this hitting merry-go-round with 8 runs in the inning.
This is 2 strikes. Pitch elevated on an outer third. Brown puts a charge into it. A heck of a Superman effort out there in left field by Tiger Borum. Gave it his all.
I thought for a moment he might have made that catch.
The Tigers now double-digit hits. 17 runs, and oh, by the way, Tommy White at the plate.
White has lined out. He has a 3-run double off the right field wall. He has walked and scored. He's scored twice. 1 for 2 officially. Still only 1 out. White sends a laser to left field, and that is in the bleachers. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Tommy White continues to blister the baseball over the last 3 weeks, and Corey, the big guy who got beamed a few nights ago, almost took another one.
Yeah, that was another mega hit by Tommy White. This time nowhere near Corey, about 5-6 rows in front of him. But it was in his direction. I mean, Corey probably at least got the glove up, right? Like, I mean, this time he's got the new Marucci mitt that was given to him by the gang over at Marucci. Watch this one way down in the bleachers. Those fans down there in the front row need to learn from Corey's misfortune a week ago. You don't go hunting after a Tommy White homer without a glove. A little bit shorter. We know about 6 rows shorter this time. But still, 18th bomb of the year for Tommy White.
And here is Zeb Ruddle. Tigers have batted around and then some. Cortland Posey with the ball in his hands for the Grambling Tigers, trying to somehow find that third out. Ruddle looks at it outside. $19-0 LSU. This is chopped up the middle. Shortstop was playing over to the left side, and it's safe at first base. The throw floated away from the first baseman and got there late.
Now Ruddle can run a little bit, and he's on his horse. And I don't think the shortstop took that into consideration. I think that Vargas was a little bit lackadaisical attacking that ground ball. You got to know that Ruddle's getting down the line.
That's an error, and LSU continues the hit parade. That was Ethan Fry who just rips one into right.
That had to feel good for Fry. First pitch, fastball down and away. Put his nose right on it. That's the first base hit for Ethan Fry since March 30th at Arkansas.
And he sizzled it out there. Well, there it is, the 8:20 right on time. This ball is carrying. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Home run number 7. And the Tigers continue to blister the baseball. That's a big moment for Brady Neal. He adds to his double in the second inning with this home run.
Yeah, Brady Neal knew he got it. Drove that ball. It's the second hit tonight that he's hit the other way. And that one went a lot further than the first.
That's home run number 7. 13 runs in the 4th inning. That's the most in any inning this year by the Tigers. And 22-0 right now. The most runs LSU has scored this year came in the 3rd game of the season against VMI. They scored 27 runs in 7 innings and won it 27-5. (22 runs on 13 hits). And Mac Bingham draws a base on balls. We are in the bottom of the 4th. 2 in the first, 7 in the second, none in the third. That seems like a couple of hours ago. And 13 in the 4th. Kucherak up for the 7th time in this inning. Not really.
Got a base hit to left on a hanging breaking ball is earlier this inning. I know that.
Yes, he did. He replaced Milam a couple of innings ago. Stephen had walked and bounced into a double play. 2 outs, 13 runs in. Kucherak hits one to center field. And it settles into the glove of Trey Burrell for the final out. Tommy White smacks one into the left field bleachers. And Brady Neal hits one about the same place the other way. And LSU scores 13 in the inning. It's
Moffitt did not pitched this weekend in the Auburn series, but the last worked a couple of innings at Missouri.
Are you ready for some defensive changes?
You got a bunch of them, huh?
Yeah, we do. Gavin Guidry is at second base. Ruddle is in right field. There's Guidry. Kling is in center field. Kucherak remains at shortstop. Brown at first base. Napolt at third. So Napolt was in at second base. This ball is tomahawked, well hit into the left field corner, down on the warning track, or at least right in front of it. And Marcellus pulls up at second base with a ringing double after he struck out in the third inning. So it's second baseman Guidry. We'll check it after we watch this swing.
Yeah, just an elevated fastball up and in. He thought at first he got it, and then he realized, oh, wait a minute, I didn't. There's a little bit on the hands. And checks up for a solid double. Just went fastball hunting and caught one.
So again, those defensive changes. Guidry at second base, Ruddle in right field, Kling in center field, Kucherak at shortstop, Brown at first base, Napolt at third. Two balls and a strike to Terry Burrell.
Burrell singled his first time up. He's a junior out of Alabama.
Bingham, by the way, who started the game in center field, has moved over to left field as Kling has replaced him in center. So it's Bingham and Kling. And Ruddle in the outfield from left to right. There's Kling in center field. The 3-2 pitch is hit pretty well out to right field, but Ruddle has time and he makes the catch. The runner will advance from second base. Burrell gave it a pretty good ride. He's 1 for 2 now. And with one out, Grambling has a runner 90 feet away. Trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time. And Trey Ware will bat for Tiger Borum. There's a mitt popper for a strike. LSU is 5 runs short of its best offensive output this year of 27 runs against VMI. Moffitt brings that one at 95 and works it past Ware.
95 with some ride on it. You know, I mean, that ball is staying on plane.
And Moffitt comes right back with the heat and strikes out Ware. Those last couple of pitches will heat your beans.
Well, I mean, it's just nice and easy, repeatable. You know, I mean, he threw 2 or 3 in a row in the same spot. And that's what you want to see, some consistency out of his mechanics and release point.
Kyle Walker from New Orleans has singled twice. He's had a good night. That burns the outside edge. Walker, a redshirt freshman. He singled in the first. He singled in the third.
He's a redshirt sophomore. He played in 2022 for Louisiana Tech, where he redshirted over there. But he played last season in 2023 and this year in 2024 at Grambling.
If I erred, it was because I was reading the scoreboard that shows him as a redshirt freshman.
He hit that one well.
Yes, he did, and it's not coming back. A line drive in the left center field bleachers. He's 3 for 3. Kyle Walker.
Have a day, big fella.
Absolutely. That's home run number 9. Very well done, Kyle Walker. 2 singles and a well-struck home run into the left center field bleachers.
Yeah. Fastball, belt high, and he knew he got it. The former Rummel Raider, Pride and Metairie, ran into that one, and that was a no-doubter, and his team has something to celebrate after being down 22-0. Walker, who has had really a good year. I mean, that average is up around 380, and a good second base, has stolen a bunch of bags. I mean, he's having a SWAC MVP type season. Making a case for that, no question.
Ashton Inman is 0 for 2. He has bounced into a double play, actually lined into a double play, and grounded out second to first. "22 runs on 13 hits for the Tigers, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Grambling Tigers." Moffitt works it in on the fists. That's high and away. And a looper behind the plate will get up on the roof. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss.
Tied with Baez, Miguel Baez, who also has 18.
He works from the stretch and floats in a breaking ball to Napolt.
56. That's what the radar gun had on that floater. I mean, that's an ephus. That was an ephus that he threw. Anything under 60 is an ephus.
Well, this one is under 70. And it's 2-0. There's a 66.
This might be my favorite pitcher of the year. You know how hard it's got to be for these LSU hitters who are used to seeing 96 miles an hour fastballs routinely in the SEC, and then now they're seeing these off-speed pitches. And to try to stay back has got to be quite the challenge.
Kevin Hall is now at second base. And Trey Ware has moved to left field. Hall replaces Walker, and Ware replaces Borum.
Washington on the bump, 5'8", 170.
Is that radar reading right?
No, it is. No, I mean
that was 70.
When you see a hump when he throws the ball, and there's a like a little hump to it. You can say 1 Mississippi, and between by the time the ball releases and the catcher, that's when you know it's a little slower than normal. Ooh, I thought that one might have caught the bottom of the zone a little bit.
Brown is batting. Guidry is on deck. Jake has doubled tonight coming off the bench. That was 65. I don't think I've ever seen a college pitcher top out at 70.
Well,
this ball is drilled way back in the night. It left the yard much greater than 70. Pucker up and kiss another one goodbye. Jake Brown blasts one over the right center field wall. It's his second home run of the season. And that gives him 6 total bases on 2 base hits. And the Tigers now lead it 24-2.
Well, Brown showed that patience, made the adjustments, stayed back, and then drove it deep into the night right center. That was a no-doubter off the bat.
Here's Gavin Guidry batting for the first time. He's playing second base tonight in relief. Been a while since Guidry's had an at-bat, hasn't it?
Like never.
He knows what to do with it as he rips it into the left field corner, and Guidry will steam into second base. That's his first at-bat on the season, and he smashes a double into the left field corner.
Did he have one last year? Did he have any bats last year? I don't. No.
That was a hanging breaking pitch, and Guidry rips it into the left field corner. Here's Paxton Kling. What did you find out when you were looking at Guidry? Is that his first base hit ever at LSU? It is. That's his first at bat, his first base hit.
Tigers now with 15 base hits in the game. 24 runs. This is the time of the game where there's a fight at the bat rack. People are just climbing over each other to try to get an AB right now. You got pitchers over there in the dugout having conversations saying, I can hit this guy. You know, everybody's trying, everybody wants to hit. Got pitchers saying, you know, in high school I was 280 with 6 homers. I mean, give me a chance.
Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, 2 runs in. Gavin Guidry at second base after his first base hit in his first collegiate at bat over the course of 2 seasons.
54. Is that a new high? I think that's a new low. I mean, tonight 54 is the lowest.
54.
Lowest. I don't know if the gun registers 49, so hopefully we will see it.
Kling puts a big swing on this one, but it's going to be caught near the warning track in straightaway center field. And Guidry eases his way to third. Paxton Kling hit it about 385 feet, if not more, but it stayed in the ballpark in straightaway center field. And Burrell made the catch out there. So here is Ruddle. He's been hit by a pitch and he's reached on an error. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. 2 in the first for the Tigers, 7 in the second. 13 runs in the 4th inning. Oh my. Way back. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. The end of that home run was off the national championship sign above the right field wall. And how about that? Home run number 1.
I thought it hit the Intimidator sign.
It did. Rettle smashes one, and the Tigers continue to pour it on.
He knows he got all of it. Watch the bottom of the.
I mean, I can't keep up with the home run total.
You puckered on a number of them, but at least 5.
That was 102 exit velocity, 438 feet.
Wow, it's a bomb.
LSU with 16 hits. And my goodness, it seems as though 3/4 of them have been for extra bases.
What a moment. That's a lot of fun for Zeb Ruddle, who's been chomping at the bit to get some opportunities over there. And the freshman out of Monroe, Louisiana, Neville High School, the home of the Tigers.
There's the second out of the inning. By the way, Ronnie, we had that huge production LSU did in the 4th inning. They scored 13 runs. That's the most runs in a single inning by LSU since the Tigers scored 14 against ULM way back in May of 2000. That was in the NCAA Baton Rouge Regional. And so it's been a long time since LSU garnered that many runs in a single inning. 13 tonight in the 4th.
Something about playing those teams from North Louisiana, huh? Grambling
Perhaps
from
so.
up that way, ULM.
LSU has 11 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 5 homers. And Brady Neal
Look like a
has
slow
a couple
pitch
of them.
softball, like where they throw it way high up in the air and you got to hit.
That was 56. Neal has had 2 of those extra base hits. He has doubled and homered. Now Grambling still will have 2 innings of offense coming. We are playing in the bottom of the 5th.
I just want to see a 49. I'm hoping we'll see like the ultimate ethos. Saw 54. We're looking for a 49. That got him. That was 60. That was heat.
Well, the inning. Cameron Buford is at the plate. He has struck out twice. And Ulloa has him down in the count 0-2. The 1-2 pitch coming to Buford. That misses. It's 2-2. So, Ronnie, let's have a little quiz here. Folks at home, you've got about 30 seconds to identify correctly where everybody is playing defensively for LSU. I'll help you. It's Napolt at third, Brown at first, Guidry at second, Kling in center field, Ruddle in right field. Neal is catching. The left fielder is Bingham. Kucherak is the shortstop. Did you get that right? The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Ooh, 95 by Fidel. Reached back with a little extra heat after he hadn't thrown in a while, letting the big dog eat.
That one was hotter than a pepper sprout. LaMarcus Jones is batting.
Jones out of St. Gabriel, right down the road, went to LSU Eunice.
He's batting for Murphy.
Jones 1 for 9 on the season.
Strike 2.
.96 from Fidel.
And popped up. There will be no play. Jones lifts this one in the air in foul territory, and it is out of the reach of everybody. Good for that lady.
Yeah, I mean, that ball went through the about 10-foot opening between the net and the roof and just found a rare foul ball through that space.
Ulloa breaks one off. That one had a little juice to it at the end. And Jones strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ulloa.
Yeah, wicked breaking ball, 84 miles an hour with that one. Excellent pitch with 2 strikes.
Don't you think, from what we've seen from Ulloa, especially early in the season, that slider is his best pitch?
Well, it was when he's throwing 91, but when you're throwing 95 and 96 like we've seen tonight, we might have a new best pitch. And we got another home plate umpire who is warning it a little bit. Watch here at the replay. Watch where this ball ends up. It's a foul tip. Ooh, right off the
we know where.
Bat, the catcher's glove, and the inner thigh.
Jeremy Hayes was knocked out of the game early, and Jeff Beeman was just hit by a pitch as well, or hit by that foul ball.
Let's check out the bat for Buckner at the plate. I mean, that thing has got some colors, doesn't it? We got the green tape on the handle, the orange, blue, all sorts of colors, but all those colors don't matter because Ulloa is just too good.
On the 10-run rule. That's an assumption at this point, but
I think it's a
pretty
good
solid one.
Yeah, we'll let you go. We'll let you slide.
Mac Bingham pops this up, and it's caught in fair territory by the first baseman Inman. Jalen Bennett is the right fielder. He has replaced Hatton for Grambling. And here's Ryan Kucherak, who came into the game a few innings ago. He had a 4th inning single and scored a run. And he also batted again in that 4th inning and had a fly out to center. There's Bennett, the new right fielder. Kucherak waits, and it's high and away.
Baez on the mound is from the Dominican Republic, one of 2 players on this team from the Dominican Republic. There's also another international player from St. Martin.
Well, Kucherak gets aboard. And this brings on Ben DePolt. He was hit by a pitch, and he has walked. That bounces in. And a pretty good fastball there, considering. DePaul took it for a strike. He's out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Another strike in the upper part of the zone.
That zone's going to get a little big, as you can expect, to score the way it is. And after the last inning, the home plate umpire took a foul ball where you don't want to. That's Jeff Beeman behind the plate, who started off tonight at second base. He was just kind of chilling over there. He had the second base umpire gig, and bottom of the first, Jeremy Hayes, who originally was the home plate umpire, took a 100-mile-an-hour foul ball right off the mask, and when he didn't know who the president was, they had to make a change and took him out of the game.
There will be no play on this.
Here's the foul ball right off the bottom of the mask.
That was very early in the game, and he was unable to continue. And I think wisely on everybody's part, they just didn't let him continue. He was evaluated, and they've been working with 3 umpires since then. Two to Napolt. That's through the right side on the ground. The runners advance 1 base. LSU with 13 in the 4th, which is the most LSU has scored in a single run in nearly 25 years. Within a single inning, I should say.
Here's Jake Brown, who last time up had a big fly to right center.
Yes, he did. A 2-run home run. He has also doubled and walked. That double produced a couple of runs, so he's had 6 total bases on 2 extra base hits and 4 runs batted in. Hitting .275 on the year right now. Let's go back and look at the home run swing.
Stayed back on that slow pitch, drove it over the fence in right center by good ways. The pride of Sulphur High School, the Tornadoes.
He was swinging on the 3-0 pitch and lifts a fly ball to very shallow center field. Now Gavin Guidry comes to the plate. This is his second at bat in his career. And his first one was pretty good, wasn't it? Guidry doubled into the left field corner last time. 2 runners aboard. LSU with 26 runs already. Tigers are 1 short of tying their output of 27 runs against VMI on February 18th.
Not many times in a season do you score more than 25 runs twice in the same year.
Good point. And the 2-1 pitch. Hit to the left side. Shortstop's got it. Makes a long throw over and strike 1 to Jacobs Wishard.
That was 93 from DJ Primo. Primo from Central High School right here in the Baton Rouge area. His old high school, the Wildcats, coached by Leo McClure, who announced his retirement effective at the end of this season, but their season is still alive. They'll be taking on a big challenge as the Wildcats advanced in the playoffs. They will be up in taking on West Monroe in a 2 out of 3 series this week.
A big swing, but no contact. And Primo gets his first strikeout.
That was an excellent slider. 85. Couple guys in Primo and Ulloa who we hadn't seen in a while. It's been since March 26th was the last time that DJ Primo towed the rubber in a game for the Tigers. Now, obviously, they practice and inter squads and all that, but
they've come from Brown and White and Ruddle and Travinsky and Neal. There's a ground ball sharply struck up the middle. So Woody with the base hit.
This fastball right down the middle.
That's James Woody, the pinch hitter, who just has singled up the middle.
You like to see that out of a pinch hitter. A guy who's aggressive, goes up there, doesn't take first pitch hunting, because you know chances are when you are a pinch hitter, you're going to get a first pitch fastball, and the freshman out of Richland, Mississippi took advantage.
Gardner swings through the first one. Harry's Gardner from Detroit. Not a lot of at bats, but a .333 average.
5 for 15 on the season. Cade Woods on the bump, 6'3", 220-pounder out of Ouachita Christian High School up in the Monroe area. A fantastic baseball program, and then of course started his career at Alabama before transferring to LSU.
And this is lined, a leap at shortstop, and the catch made as Kucherak climbed the ladder and made. Trey Ware from Doyline, Louisiana, is at the plate right now. He batted in the 5th inning and he struck out. By the way, Ronnie, we were not thorough enough in our investigation of Guidry's offense last year. He had 7 at bats. We erroneously said he had none. He was 1 for 7 last year. And so we have updated our research.
And Jake Brown, a little surprised there that he didn't haul that one in. He's an outfielder. I know it's a little different maybe playing first, but right here just
never got under it.
Overruns it. Overran it, and there
it is. Third to first on the putout. And this game is over as Napolt